Hello.
Hi guys, we'll be starting in another 2 minutes.
Hi, Sanjana.
Hi, Dr. Dutta. We'll welcome to Buds on STEM. We'll start in another 2 minutes.
All right.
Okay, we can start now. Um, so, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Buds on STEM. Today, we are in conversation with Dr. Priyanjali Dutta, who is a co-founder of and CEO of Arogya International. Dr. Priyanjali Dutta is a creative entrepreneur, a dental surgeon by education. She has built 4 startups, produced 3 documentary films on women's health, social taboo in India, and gender equality. Arogya International Foundation is a technology led social enterprise which has a mission to prevent cancer deaths in women worldwide. Its multilingual and artificial intelligence based My Healthline mobile application equips frontline healthcare workers like Asha in India and Africa to screen women for a complete reproductive health checkup at their doorstep. High risk women are mobilized to nearby healthcare facilities for further clinical interventions. Dr. Priyanjali and Dr. Dhruv Kakar founded the venture back in 2016. The organization is now 30 plus teams strong, governed by a global advisory board and on ground frontline healthcare workers in hundreds. Organizations like Cisco, the Nudge Center for Social Innovation, Mulago Foundation, HTC Startup SmartUp, PepsiCo, and many others have started and encouraged Arogya. Dr. Priyanjali is also working on her dream project Pinga, a mobile application for urban women to have one stop shop for their sexual, hormonal, and lifestyle well being. Dr. Priyanjali has been given multiple international scholarships and awards for her innovations and works for the last mile, lesser privileged women in India and Uganda. On this auspicious occasion of Teachers' Day, I'm excited to welcome Dr. Priyanjali to our Buds on STEM session. It is an honor to have you here.
Thanks, Sanjana. And that was a really nice introduction. I am honored to be here. Happy Teachers' Day, by the way, to everybody. And there's a great initiative. I'm so glad that kids like you nowadays are aware and you know exactly, how to gauge your further steps properly and take right decisions by talking to your people around you and whoever you get inspired with. This is a great thing because back then when I was at your stage, internet and connectivity was not that strong and people were not that well connected. Now people are very well connected just with a click. So that's the power of science. And about me, as Sanjana mentioned everything, so I think there's not much left to say. But I come from Shillong, Meghalaya, and it'll be my privilege to answer some of your questions if uh, you have any specific. And Sanjana and I will dive into the conversation.
Thank you. It's an honor to have you here, Dr. Dutta. So I'll go to the questions. Dr. Priyanjali, could you please walk us through your journey from your early childhood, where you were born and you went to school or college, to becoming the founder and CEO of Arogya? I'm sure we can pick up some valuable insights from your journey.
Sure. So my journey so far has been really a roller coaster. As you see on my background, this is a place called Umiam Lake. It's a lake, man-made lake in Meghalaya, which is in Ribhoi district. And this is roughly 20 to 25 kilometers before the city of Shillong, which is the capital of Meghalaya. I was brought up here. um, I went to school in Army School Shillong till my 10th standard. And then somehow I got motivated with becoming a doctor and took a decision to come to New Delhi, prepare for medical entrance examinations in my 11th and 12th, and get into a good medical school. That was how I moved to New Delhi. And from there on, I was selected in my college here in New Delhi only. And I did my studies, I did my clinical practice during the study. And then during college, I founded Arogya. And since then, the journey has been with Arogya.
Okay, that's a very inspiring journey. Thank you for sharing it with us. So, um, so what exactly motivated you to become a doctor? How did you make the decision? Was there any incident?
That's actually a very important question in my journey so far because couldn't answer that question rightly for me. I always had this notion that, if you are going to a school where you are excelling in academics, and so I was excelling in academics, which gave me this perception till since my eighth standard, because I got influenced and motivated by my peer surrounding me, that okay, medical field is really prestigious, and you can serve the community, you can really do a lot of meaningful work on a day-to-day basis. And if you are a topper, you should become either an engineer or a doctor. That was very, very narrow at our time. That was the mindset. But as a kid, honestly, if I would have been given the opportunity of career counseling and understand my passion, my dreams, I would not have chosen to become a doctor. So that's what happened to me. um, that doesn't mean that whoever here is in the room, if you want to become a doctor, I don't want to demotivate you, it's just my story. But I was not very clear about it. And my father was my guiding source. He has always been, even till today. He is the one. But he definitely told me that, you have the entrepreneurial spirit inside you, which you love nurturing, and maybe uh, clinical practice only will not give you happiness on your day-to-day basis. So why don't you go to Mumbai instead of New Delhi and explore what you want to do, study there. So that was the two ways I had. I had to choose one option. But I went with my decision, and I'm very proud of my father and my mother that they always gave me the confidence to take my own decisions from very early age. I came to New Delhi, and while preparing for my PMTs, my pre-medical tests, I realized that I think my dad was somewhere right. But as a so this is something really important. You guys should not ever think that, oh, I'm too late. Don't think that, because if I see 10 years back, I could have taken a lot of decisions which would have helped me better. But I thought, oh, maybe now I have taken this, so I should continue with this. There's nothing, no hard and fast rule to that. So um, I also thought that, okay, now let's continue studying. But when I went to college, I realized that in my third year that I will not be happy with clinical practice. It has nothing to do with the work itself, but I was more happy out there on the field. So yeah, that's my journey.
Actually, that's like a revelation. I would like to like explore a little more in this topic if that's okay with you. Why did you say you wouldn't choose to become a doctor?
Because when you when I see on the hindsight, and you can always see only in the hindsight, that I am an entrepreneur, and entrepreneur's job is full time. You cannot do anything else. It's literally the one of the most difficult things to pursue, and it's extremely exciting. So you will, if you're true to your mission, you will not be able to do um, a lot of luxury activities in your life. You will have to devote your life for some years to whatever you're building. And for that, I don't think I needed the degree of becoming a doctor. It definitely helped me. It definitely gave me a springboard to jump, because I got so much exposure in the field of public health. And since I came from a government college, there was a lot of resources, a lot of research, a lot of patients happening in the college itself. So I got that resource for myself to build my organization. However, if I would have taken a simple course of 3 years, I would have saved a little more time for myself, because, entrepreneurs, uh, the most important thing that they have is time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you're saying that you would like an intersection between, entrepreneurism and healthcare, right? Rather than a full-fledged doctor.
Correct. So I was inspired to do a lot of things since my childhood in healthcare, because my grandmom passed away because of lung cancer, and she was a non-smoker. She didn't have any, risk factor to have lung cancer. My mom has a rare disease, which is a precancerous condition, and that also makes her take chemotherapy pills on a day-to-day basis. So I was very inspired to do something for cancer. But entrepreneurs get excited about problem solving, since that's their passion, that's what they thrive for. And I think since it was at the domain of healthcare, that's how it happened.
I hope your mom gets better soon. I hope she's doing good.
She's good, yeah. She's quite excited with her day-to-day life. She loves gardening.
Okay, so what led you to the decision to start Arogya International? You already answered that, but maybe a little more.
Sure. So I had taken a very practical decision, honestly, and this might help you guys to, even if you think you're too late, how to make a bridge towards where you want to go. So I started making that bridge in my third year. Started a little bit of research in my second year, and then in my third year I started uh, a society in my college. It was Arogya's precursor, where we used to make a lot of fashion products, and sell it for breast cancer patients. And we also used to do a lot of fashion shows in college fests and multiple other events. And it got quite famous. We didn't put any effort, honestly. We all started with 100 or 200 bucks each, all the members. We were roughly 20 to 25 people together. And we got pretty famous. And then lifestyle and brands like that covered us because they loved the theme of breast cancer awareness through fashion. So that was the beginning. During my internship, which started in 2016, I realized that I have to do the groundwork now because all my other colleagues are studying for their masters. They have to prepare for the entrance exam, which is enormously difficult. So I should also be paving my path towards what I want to do. So I started doing my POC, proof of concept projects in Meghalaya. I used to bunk a lot. Uh, and my teachers, they used to think that, oh God, what will happen to this girl? She was the rank opener, she was rank 7, and look at her, what's happening to her. She's almost missing in action all the time. But then it was important for me to go to Meghalaya and do some projects because I wanted to study before starting Arogya. Is there any very strong correlation between lifestyle and cancer? So, Meghalaya is a matriarchal society, and women are the bread earner of the family. They go to work every day, and it's completely the opposite of patriarchal society. And the tobacco is grown in Meghalaya at a very large quantity. So there are many lifestyle factors which leads to cancer in a high number in Northeast India because of tobacco consumption and so on and so forth. I did the POC there, um, and I realized that yes, there are very strong correlations, and I started developing my algorithms. I didn't know anything about artificial intelligence or data science. I started developing the algorithms, and I thought that if I create, correlation between lifestyle and cancer, that can be a breakthrough for community level screening, right? Because cancer itself is such a scary word, and it doesn't. It's a taboo, and especially for women and their reproductive health. If we talk about their organs like breasts or vaginal infections or sexually transmitted infections, which can be very very vulnerable, and people ignore it most of the times. So cancer is mostly found at a late stage there. So if we can detect cancer early in women in their community itself, so they can be moved to a nearby healthcare facility for treatment early, and their life can be saved. And also the economics, right? The family can be saved with saving a lot of money in early stages, because most of the times in India, what happens is because of so much expense in healthcare, they're pushed into poverty trap. uh, that's one of the biggest reason of poverty in the country. So yeah, that was the beginning. In 2017, I uh, was joined by my co-founder, Dr. Dhruv Kakkar. He did his prosthetic surgery and his education from Manipal. He also is in Johns Hopkins University now, which is healthcare's best in the world. Um, we started this journey, and it has been very tough. We became from an on-ground organization working door to door to evolving a team where both the co-founders being non-technology co-founders. We did not have the skills and requisite knowledge of technology. We had to struggle a lot to build a team, to build the technology, to make it scalable, to make it into a sustainable business model, so that we could raise funding and expand it to not just India but also outside. So from there, we are now at a stage where we are covering the entire ambit of females' reproductive health. And that's happening through the My Healthline mobile application in local language with the help of the AI based algorithms. And frontline healthcare workers are using it. People like ASHA workers, if you know, in India, who are involved in going door to door to collect data, and they are doing the screening of women. What happens is when they do the entire screening in the form of question and answer mostly, at the end the mobile application gives a risk assessment result of low risk, medium risk, high risk, and the high risk people are sent for further test. So that's the journey of AroCare.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's very useful information. You covered a lot of ground. So, can I ask you how important are grades for final career success?
Um, it depends on the situation. If someone wants to go to, say, after your 12th to a very premier university for your, say, Bachelor's of Arts, and you want to go to a premier university, I think there the grades matter, unfortunately, but it matters. But that's just a springboard. Grade does not matter in terms of shaping your career of what you want to become. That is completely based on your experience and hard work and hands-on behavior. Uh, Studies help you to only reach a certain league of university. That's it. During MS also, it's the same way. If you have a gold medal in your bachelor's, then you get some scholarships and you get into a good university for your master's. But that's just academics. That's just academics. Um, but if your question is, how does grade help you to shape your career? That's not really, your career is not based on a particular league or grade of university, right? I mean, I was very proud that I come from army school, and I was very, very arrogant about it. But then I realized that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are in a space where you are able to learn hands on what you want to do by yourself. For example, if you want to become a data scientist, if you take up internships with good companies where you can learn data science in real life, that matters because that shapes your career, and that gives you the opportunities to work more and multiply the entire effect.
Yeah, so I guess attitude matters the most.
No, yes, of course, yeah. If you want to pursue something, you have to have the you know attitude, confidence, and just do or die feeling. Yeah.
Definitely. So the next question is, can you please describe a typical day in your profession?
Sure. uh, so I think my typical day as an entrepreneur is not a very schedule oriented day, and I will not encourage that schedule for you guys because it's not healthy. Because we start our calls and team meetings from 5 a.m. in the morning, sometimes even 4, because some of the team members are in other time zones, right? So we have to manage a lot of time zone. Then I try to do my exercises and take some time off, maybe sit with my mom and while she's gardening, I also sometimes love to sing with her because she's a singer and a dance teacher. Then I again go back to work um, after 2 or 2.5 hours of break, freshening up, getting ready. I start doing my day-to-day work of team meetings, of my entire day consists of different kind of work, managing my technology team, managing our business development team, which is constantly trying to do fundraising, managing the operations team who are working in Maharashtra and Uganda for the women's screening. I also have my dream project Pinga, which takes a lot of creativity space. And for that, I try to take out time alone. So I work on that. I also try to take some time off in between because constantly working can be really tiring for your brain, and especially during pandemic I try to keep my mental health at first. That's my first priority. So I try to take ample amount of short breaks in between, and then again during late evening we have calls again with our um, investors and board members, again in other time zones. So my uh, effort goes into having dinner on time and somehow sleep on time, otherwise the next day is going to suffer. But that happens typically from Monday to Saturday. And Sunday I have made a rule that no matter how important the work is, but I have to pause is super important. So you need to pause everything, whatever is the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very holistic day. 5 a.m. sounds early though.
Very.
Okay, so you've mentioned your day, but what exactly is the most difficult part of your job?
The most difficult part of my job is 24/7 having the responsibility of, you know, making sure the security of earning for 30 families who are working with us. I call it 30 families because people are earning for themselves and their families. And it's my job as the founder to take care of my people. So we have a pyramid and we have a North Star direction for us. Our North Star direction is our customers, or should I say our end beneficiaries for whom we are working. So whatever we do it for them. And below that comes the priority of team. So team is very important. I uh, find that job the most difficult, to keep the team together, to make sure they're comfortable, to make sure the work is happening. Yeah, that's team. People skill is definitely difficult for me because I have been quite on and off with my social skills.
Yeah. Okay, then thank you for sharing that with us. What do you think are the basic traits or characteristics to be successful in your profession, the personality of the person who wants to pursue your career?
So success is defined by two methods in my observation. One is how you define your success, and the second is how people around you at different stages of life define your success. So you need to first stick to one, because um, I stick to the former. I stick to my uh, definition of success for myself. So I'm constantly competing with me. That can be very, very tiring, and you should not overdo it at all. But if others around you say that you have achieved something, then that means you have really achieved something. Maybe it's a very small thing, but you have achieved something. So embrace that. To answer your question about characteristics, time is the most important thing in life. I mean, if we talk to Warren Buffett, just picking him up and ask him, will you give $3 trillion to become 30 again? I think he will, because he can earn more than that if he got back to his 30s. So time is the most there, and there, I can't emphasize it any better. It is the most important thing. Your time management is super important. And number two is how you utilize your time. So as kids in India, we all have faced a similar notion where we are bound to do a lot of things, and we feel very bounded to it, right? We feel that we are obligated to do all of those tasks. But you have to first do one exercise that I would recommend. Google what is theory of change and write your goal. If you don't know your goal, that's okay, but you must be having a goal. Maybe somebody has a very clear vision of where I want to be 10 years down the line, or at least 5 years down the line, or even 3 years down the line. Write that goal first. And then you go backwards. You see what are the small successes, small milestones that will add up to that larger goal. For those small successes, you go again down and write down activities that you have to do to get those small milestones. And then towards the extreme left of it, write down the inputs, where how you will do the activities. And always keep assumptions, realistic assumptions, because pandemic was no one's assumption, because it came very suddenly, but it did impact every life. So things like that can happen anytime. So you need to do only those things which takes you towards your goal. Don't think that doing everything will make you successful. It will not take you anywhere. uh, Hard work is good only when your activities are aligned to your goal. Yeah.
Yeah, so having a long-term goal is really important, like have long vision.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Um, what kind of setbacks do you have to deal with and how do you handle them?
Setbacks are almost every day. um, we have multiple setbacks as a company, and especially a social initiative. It is very difficult for um, solutions like this to flourish in a capitalist world. It is very difficult, because when you can't show profit but you can show impact, you only get a very small set of funders who funds it, right? Because they are not getting monetary profit, but they're getting social equity and social incentive out of it. um, it is difficult to raise funds, but it's not impossible. We have extremely evolved systems now, and I would highly encourage you people, if anyone wants to get into social impact space, become a social entrepreneur. It's a thriving field. Do get into it, and I'll be happy to help anytime. The second most important thing is dealing with people. So we make solution and we become very happy in the lab, because we think that, wow, we have made, a marvel. But when you actually take on ground and you realize, is it useful? Is it working? Is it solving any real problem? Are people reacting to it well? uh, So that can be really challenging. So you should always think about your people for whom you are making the solution. So that's a very difficult job for us, because as you know, women from a certain section in the society in India, they have a lot of foundations: family, society, taboo, their own mental blocks are the biggest, trust me. So counseling them, behavior change is the most difficult part in our on ground activities. Then technology is so tough, it's so tough, but it's so exciting, it solves problems so well. And you can send your solution to any part of the world, which is the most beautiful thing. But it is difficult, it needs a lot of dedication. I have learned so much during my work, and I did not need any course or degree. I learned about AI, I learned about data science, I learned about how to make algorithms, I learned about coding, and I learned about a lot of uh, technology stuffs because I'm working on it. So yeah, these are a couple of things, highlights that I can talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be dealing with different kinds of people, and understanding them must be difficult.
Yeah.
Um, so, so the last 18 to 20 months, as you said, has been dominated by only, one and only one thing, COVID-19.
Yes.
So how has the pandemic affected your profession?
My profession has been honestly become more relevant than ever in the modern history, because public health was the only wiring or skeleton, I would say, through which you could reach the society at community level and do data collection and do mapping of COVID cases and track live COVID cases. And, according to the data insights, you could divert the resources in the right place. So for my profession, it became more relevant because it had to use technology to do the best of what we could as humankind. We were much primitive than the virus itself. But um, for other professions, it did affect really badly. Impact was very hard hit, which is completely disheartening. But I hope we all get back to track and the world's economies get back to track faster. If we could make the vaccine so fast with so much effectivity, then I think we all will come back to pace faster. So yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, Dr. Priyanjali, just out of curiosity, if you're not a CEO or doctor, what other profession would you select?
oh, filmmaking. I have always been a storyteller. I love storytelling. So my entire work at Arogya for work outside my team. Inside my team, I'm of course doing the technical work date on a day-to-day basis. But outside my team, my entire work is storytelling, and I would love to be a filmmaker.
Yeah, wow, that's completely different one. Okay, so Dr. Priyanjali, as you all know, you're very successful in your profession. Do you get time to spend with your family, and how do you balance work and life?
I did not initially, honestly. In my early 20s, I used to think that I have to work 24/7. If I don't work 24/7, I won't be successful. And it was so glorified, right? That you have to work 24/7. But then time teaches you everything. And I realized that if I don't balance my work in life and I don't get the time to spend with my family, then I will not go anywhere, because any profession is a marathon. It's not a sprint or 100 meter. You have to behave that way. So I had to make a lot of rules for my mental peace, for pausing my work, for consciously making a lot of effort. It took me a lot of effort to unwind myself and become more available to my family, to my own self, to my hobbies. And it took me good 2.5 years to unwind completely. But now it's much better. I can say that it's quite balanced.
Okay, that's great. So what are the high moments in your career, and do CEOs really take it as a greatest achievement or success when their employees do well?
Yes, definitely. My achievements have only been with the small successes that we have. Uh, we have got a lot of press coverage, media, and international awards, but that's momentary, that comes and goes. But the real joys are when you actually see a patient getting impacted and getting impacted in a positive way and saying that, oh, my problem got solved because of you guys. That's super amazing for the team. The second is when your team is happy, right? When they are achieving something, there can't be a bigger happiness than that. So even if it's, as simple as removing a bug from your platform. So yeah, these are, and we try to find, as a team, we try that's our work culture, that's our core value. We try to find happiness, and we try to find the opportunity to appreciate each other every day. And we have no hierarchy in the team. There is absolutely no hierarchy. There is no foundations of creativity. Everyone has the uh, equal opportunity to speak for themselves, because they have to work, right? It's them who knows better than me. I cannot just keep doing autocratic decisions or taking autocratic decisions. So yeah, these are the small joys that we enjoy on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, this is something unique actually. You don't really see this kind of friendly nature in most of the companies or organizations. So it's great.
By the time you guys grow up, you will see this culture only, because I see the generations. I mean, my sister and you guys are so bright and socially so conscious, and I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, so the next one is what do you do to keep increasing your knowledge and be up to date with the advancements that are occurring in your field?
Very important. I have spoken a lot about degrees and grades not being that important, but knowledge is very important. Very, very important. If you have to keep growing, you have to have the knowledge of what you're doing. Like I said, I studied after my work, and it on a day-to-day basis, it's quite hectic. I still have to take out time, and I don't sit with a book or something. I read very simple books, which is stories, and I love my novels. But whenever I get time, I tune into either a podcast platform or YouTube, and start learning about things which are relevant to my work and which are new, which are upcoming, because what's next? You need to be updated. You need to pass on the learning also to your team so that they can grow. It's super important to keep your knowledge base increasing. um, so I keep learning about machine learning, data science, and the latest trends of uh, diseases like COVID-19. So I was following it since 2019 December. And because I studied so much, I knew that this is coming, um, because of coming from that field. So that's super important. However, sometimes doing something which is not related to your work and increasing your knowledge in that is equally important. because that keeps you human, that keeps you sane, and that doesn't give you the feeling in life that you're missing out on something, because time is limited. We all have a ration of time, it's very limited. So I also keep continuing my dancing. I pursue singing with my mom, learning musical instruments, sometimes drawing. I used to paint a lot when I was a kid, like you. um, Debates, I love debates. So yeah, I keep doing that.
Yeah, that's really nice that you find time for everything. Uh, the next one I wanted to ask is, who's your role model and why?
Great question. uh, my role model is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, which is completely out of every line of action that I have seen or thrived in my life. But the conviction, the heroism, the hard work, the planning, the intelligence, and the sheer confidence to do what he has done is unmatchable. So he's my inspiration.
Yeah, yeah, Netaji is definitely one person who does not get enough credit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but he's like one of the most important freedom fighters.
Yes.
So, this is one of my favorite questions, Dr. Priyanjali. Let us say we go back in time when you were 16 years old, when you were in high school. Um,
Yeah.
what do you regret not doing, and what is it that you regret doing? Anything that you would change if you were given a chance to relive your high school years?
Yes, I would not listen to me in my 16-year-old self. And I would listen to my mom and dad and pursue going to Bombay and pursuing my entrepreneurial activities there. That would have, as I said earlier, that would have saved a lot of time. And yeah, that's what I would have done.
So, um, one last question, Dr. Priyanjali. What final piece of advice would you give to my friends who are currently in high school?
Uh, First of all, are you all interested in science and mathematics? So so that I'm well versed with your background. All of you are interested to pursue science as your next step.
I'm sure most of us are.
Okay. So in that case, I think do this activity of theory of change. I'm happy to put a link here. You can use this tool. It's super important to conduct this activity as early as possible in your life, because you are at the most uh, lucrative stage of your life where you can actually win the world if you take the right decision. Um, Theory of change will tell you where you actually want to be, and just close your eyes and write your goal as it is. And then you map your milestones, activities, and inputs, and also assumptions. So do that activity. It's very helpful. It won't happen in one day. It takes, if you want to do it very well, take a big chart paper, put it on your room, on in front of your wall, and keep scribbling it. um, every day you'll improvise it, and you will realize that the perfect um, theory of change has uh, come out when you have already done the activities for 2 or 3 months. It can come early or even later than that, but that's somewhere I feel that you need 2 or 3 months to really figure out really good things to happen. So I'm putting the link here. It has a video it will tell you about the video. It has a template. You can download the template and you can copy that template in a chart paper, or if you want to do it on your laptop or your tablets, anywhere. Um, so here the link is on your chat. Um, this is number one. And number two, if you want to pursue whatever you want to do in your career, thinking about a short-term goal, even then this toolkit will help you super well, because this is designed for even if you have a goal for next 6 months or next 6 years or 60 years, it is applicable to everything. Um, do research well. Research about your career really well, because later, if you have motivations that drive you, someone can have motivation like me, that I want to create a scalable solution for last mile women in the world, and I want everyone to access it. So that's my goal. But someone can have a goal like, I want to become a scientist who wants to create a next level vaccination, which does not require booster, or can amplify the manufacturing to 100 times. Or if I say that I want to become an astronaut, and for that, don't waste your time. If you want to become an astronaut and you really want to become an astronaut, just pursue those activities only which will make you an astronaut, and don't do a lot of other stuffs that will kill your time. The third thing is, take care of your mental health. Don't get too overwhelmed with not achieving or achieving a milestone, because sometimes life can throw things on us like the pandemic, and it can derail things, it can delay things, it can change your entire mindset and perception. So give time to everything to think it through properly. So these are my top three tools that I can share.
Um, uh, sure, we'll definitely take the link, take that up. The link that you sent will definitely be helpful, I'm sure. Let's say students are interested in collaborating with you. How can we do that?
Sure. So even when students are interested to collaborate with us, we try to understand what do they want to learn, rather than imposing on them what we want them to do. So the first step is, we have an email ID that I will put here. I mean, I will put my email ID here so that you can reach out directly uh, and tell us what you like about our work. And then we figure out which domain will give you more knowledge. And then we give you an internship based on your availability, if it's 1 month, if it's 3 months, if it's 6 months, or even 1 year. So mostly our work is remote for students. It doesn't require on ground activities a lot, especially during pandemic, and when kids are not vaccinated, we don't take that step. However, online you can get involved with us with activities like writing blogs, deep diving into our data and research, and finding data insights, creating reports. Um, Also, if somebody is interested in the technology team, to learn different pieces about how we are building the AI, um, social media, and storytelling, and uh, yeah, that's that. These are a couple of activities that students do with us.
Okay, thank you. So now, like with this, now I'd like to open the floor to the audience to ask any questions that they have on their mind. Please unmute and ask if you have any.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations, madam. So one of my senior alumni from IISc Bangalore has sent me the link, and I was fortunate to listen to you people. It was a good conversation. So having myself, my name is Srinivas Rajaram. I have my both medical and engineering background. I was into medicine, but I shifted myself to biotechnology initially and did some good work on R&D cancer at IIT Mumbai. So with that experience, and I was listening, and most of the time we work in the rural areas. So currently we have a group called AI Healthcare Group from IITB. We would also like to contribute, and definitely would like to take your suggestions. What exactly we can contribute?
Sure.
Because,
Sure.
you know well, we are from Telangana, so not just Corona, but it's been 15 years that we have been doing our work into the healthcare sector. Uh, but definitely we need your support, as you are telling, like what exactly means the reaching people in the rural masses with the support of AI and technology. With writing more specific points. I don't have doubts, but I was listening carefully. I was also into some work. You were patient enough to explain all the questions.
Right.
Uh, just thank you very much, and at the same time, congratulations to both of you. Moderator, she was asking a lot of things. Okay, and uh, we'll be grateful if you can provide your email ID or contacts, whatever.
Sure.
That
I have just put my email ID on the chat. You'll find it there.
okay, madam. So that should be for because in the query session I cannot ask all the things at a time.
Not a problem. You can contact me on this email ID.
Yes. All the best, madam. And one thing
Thank
I
you.
can do that support whatever the outputs that you come across, uh, including northeastern states. We are from actually Navodaya, so we have all over wide network of in districts of India, and of course IITB,
Right.
with basically focused on to AI healthcare.
Right.
So if we come out with something, then definitely we would be able to contribute our possible things, madam.
Okay, sure.
Thank you
That's
so
very
much.
kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so there's one question that came in the chat. Um, so which cities is Arogya available now?
We are in the state of Maharashtra, and that's the on-ground operations. We are also in Kampala, Uganda. Uh, these are the places where on-ground activity is happening. However, the head office is in New Delhi and Baltimore, Maryland, in US. So we operate, the head office team operates out of these two places. And we have interns from all over India. So all over India and US. So yeah, they all are working remotely.
Madam, I asked forgot. So is this? I think it's a recorded version. So would it be available again to listen carefully? Someone want to go this particular live? Would
We
it be
put it
available?
on YouTube and on the website of Buds on STEM. If you want it, I can email also to you this
Yeah,
record.
I'll put my email IDs, madam. That is better. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. So there's another question on the chat. Um, we can send can we send an email to you to start volunteering?
Yes, sure. So this is my email ID on the chat, and you can email me um, on this ID. Yes.
And the next one, what is the minimum age to start working with you?
Um, it depends on the work and activity that they are interested in. If they are interested in writing, then we write a lot of blogs, not only about the on-ground work, but about information also, so that we can spread information. Um, that can happen at the age from where you are comfortable writing. So there's no hard and fast age that we have put. We definitely look at the quality of the content in our organization. Quality is a very big value, core proposition that we bring. And if your content is very good, we convert it into local language and we put it in the app and website so that the frontline healthcare workers can also read it in their local language. If you are good in, you know, making technical things, sorry, like videos and like editing social media, or also doing data science related work, then whatever is your skill, that will matter. That is what we see. If even if you are a great videographer, for example, at the age of 13, that's fine for us. But we need to see, we need to see the quality of work.
Yeah. So another question is, can you share your website to look up a few things?
Sure, yes. So our website crashed last night because we have our servers are having some issues, but I will put the link here because it's going to go live again today at some point. So you can access it and keep checking today when it goes live. Yeah, that's the link on the chat.
Okay, so with that, we'll conclude the session. I think that's all the questions have been asked. So thank you so much, Dr. Priyanjali, for coming on the session of Buds on STEM. It was an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Sanjana. It was really exciting talking to you all.
It was even more exciting for us. Thank you. So I would also like to thank you all, the audience, for joining today's Buds on STEM session. The recording for today's session will be uploaded on the Buds on STEM website. You can also reach out to me in case you have any questions. My email is mentioned on the front page of Buds on STEM website. The link to Buds on STEM website is www.budsonstem.org. We will have another session most likely next month with another STEM specialist. So stay tuned. Bye now and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Thanks to all of you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Please send the website.
Yes, definitely. I will send.
I just could not listen carefully. Just can you text the website? Sanjana ji? Hello? Can you please text the website on the chat box?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll send one second.
Because I could not get the word properly.
Yeah, one second.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.